Okay, so we have here, we can do, to start with the detail here, we're going to use raw umber, Naples yellow, and titanium buff for highlights. Titanium buff is only for the highlights. Raw umber and Naples yellow, when they're mixed, it will give us a really good mid-tone that we can use for the first layer. If we want darker than that first mid-tone, we increase the amount of raw umber, and then we get a really dark brown color, but always mixed with Naples yellow. We change the ratio. You darken your you use your raw umber with a bit of Naples yellow to have a dark color, and if you want it lighter, you increase the amount of Naples yellow, but you use titanium buff mixed with these colors, not alone. Titanium buff alone is a completely different color. You add that titanium buff to the mid-tone that you're using to highlight. And there's nothing wrong with using titanium buff by itself, but you will have flat, because you need to use some darks and lights with your titanium buff. Otherwise, you'll have a flat surface. So first layer, I used here in that area right there. That's raw umber with Naples yellow, but the ratio of raw umber is more. Right outside here, it is raw umber and Naples yellow, but more Naples yellow in the raw umber. So it's not that dark. Now I can do the rest. And this is easy now, because if you have 2 colors only and you're not dealing with 3 or 4 colors, then you just continue if you like, or you could just start highlighting. And if you get a lighter or darker shade every time you mix your colors, it doesn't matter, because it's not, you're not going to see any of that. This is, once we start highlighting, you're not going to see any of that. This is just to start creating that shape now. Okay. So now, if I'm going to start highlighting with this. These gaps in here are too light. This color I'm putting here is only for the stone that is higher up. But what about inside of that stone where it's carved? To show that, I'm going to increase the amount of raw umber. I'm going to come here and darken this inside. Now, when I start highlighting my stone, outside, I can see that inside there's an indent inside. There's depth. It's not all of the stones are out. And I can adjust light and dark once I start highlighting. But for now, it's good for me to see the shape by doing this. I can see what shape I have. So I have here darker. Right here, it's in. It's in. And if there's anything I'm saying that's confusing, please let me know. I'll explain.
Can you zoom in a little closer? Perfect.
I love it when I'm painting and then I dip my fingers and paint. All right. Okay. I'm going to put some more leaves in here. You know, I'll camouflage this side with more leaves. Okay. They really don't have to, both sides, they don't have to look exactly the same. Now, once we're done with this layer, we shouldn't highlight, we shouldn't do any kind of um, uh, detail. Okay, we'll just put this color, leave it, and then go back to the wall. The wall has to be done first, completely. And then we do this, because this is on top of the wall. If we do this, we put the highlights and we highlight the wall, we're going to go over that. So we don't want to do this. We'll just put the color, this layer, mid-tone, and then we highlight the wall, finish it completely, and then go back to this and highlight it. Okay, next step, we're going to do exactly the same. I switched to a larger brush, wider, bigger, round, or you could use a one of those bright, as long as it's in a good condition. Now, let's do the same. Raw umber, Naples yellow, a bit of water in there, so it's not too thick. And just cover the rest. In this area, I do have leaves, so I'm not going to worry about this because I can go over with the leaves, whatever I want to cover. So I'm just going to put a bit of color in here. Because I can go over, I'm sure I know I am going to go over with more leaves in here eventually. All right, so your color shouldn't be too thick. Again, because I like to work with the technique of fat over lean. So I always start with a not very thin, but not thick. And you can see my color is a bit lighter in certain areas, like here. This second batch of colors is a bit lighter, but that's okay, it doesn't matter. This is just the first layer. I'm gonna put more raw umber in that same combination because I want a darker color. I'm just gonna come here. We're looking, this window, the way it is more, we're looking from down up. Okay, we're back to the midtones. And we're just gonna add right here. Okay. All right. So we have a darker color here, right here. And another one underneath this little detail. So there we go. And then the grooves in here are in, so darker. And in this corner too. Another one here. And
You may have to zoom out a bit. Yeah.
zoom out. Oh, sorry. Oops, right here. There. Thank you. Okay. I'm changing to a small one. Small brush. Round. I just want to make sure that I don't lose some of these details in here. Okay, again. Now this is just the dark raw umber. Yeah. This is going to be a detail that's like a round, like a ball, but I will highlight this later on. Then we have three little ones here. 1, 2, 3, like that. We have two small ones here. I'm going to ignore them. It's not important. Let's see. Okay. I'll move this up a bit. Again, small brush, raw umber, just raw umber. And I'm just going to get that detail back a bit. I know I'm going to have to do it again, but just a tiny bit. It really gives me an idea how my details are going to be eventually. Okay, so right now we're okay. That looks starting to look really nice. And that's it for now. We need to do the bottom part, but we don't have to do it right now. We can do it after we do the wall. But if we can today, maybe not, do this part. Oh, come here. This. I will, if we don't have time, I will continue with my recording and I'll upload it with the video. So we will be done with the part that's outside. All of this in here, I'm not going to do this right here. What we're going to do is put dark leaves in the back. Cover all this with dark leaves using sap green, dark sap green in there. I really don't want to deal with another part of detail in here. So I don't want to deal with this again on the other side. Sorry. Right, so now I'm going to do this part, same. Same idea, raw umber, a bit of Naples yellow in there. So I have more like a dark color. It's not that light. Here. Bit of white, a bit of water. And let's do that. We have a little bit of a frame that's showing behind the shutter. And what's this? If a round brush is not easy to use for something like this, use a flat brush. And I'll show you how a flat brush can be used for this. This is flat or bright. It's a good, it's kind of new, so I can use it this way. It's a bit more accurate. I'm going to be using this when I start highlighting because this will give me a nice texture. Right, so this part can be, oops, let's put some more yellow, Naples yellow. Now, I washed my brush and I'm taking just raw umber, only raw umber. And I'm going to be here putting the bottom part, which we see just a bit of it, not much, because of the eye level. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay, let's take round brush again. Medium tone. And oh, let's see what the detail is. Simple. Okay. Let's do the same on this side. Although, I mean, I can, for this side, I can put some leaves here, but I'll put part of it. I'll put leaves on part of it. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay. I think we're good. We're good. Oh my God, I love it. It looks great.